As you are creating your assessments, especially assessments that contain constructed response questions where you're looking for students to come up with a unique and original response, you might be interested in attaching or aligning a rubric to a question. You can see here there's a little icon attached to a few of these questions, and this is going to indicate that a rubric has been aligned with this question. So when I click in here, I can see that I have some criteria for my rubric and that this rubric has been attached. So you have a few different options on how you can go about creating or attaching a rubric. If you have a question that does not have any rubrics attached to it, you can click into that question, and at the bottom of it, you're going to find a drop-down menu that says Align Rubric. You can come in here and it's going to show you any rubrics that you currently have created in this course that you can attach to it, and you'll see the different criteria there. And if you wanted to remove that, you could. You also have the option right within the question to create a new rubric, and that's going to open up a rubric editor, which you can go in and type in a title and a criteria. The other way that you can go and create a rubric is by going into your course itself, into the gradebook, and creating a new rubric there. So right now I am at my course homepage and I'm going to click on the grade setup option. On the right hand side of the page, I'm going to see that the column is there where it says scales and rubrics. When I click on the rubrics link, it's going to show me any rubrics that I currently have associated with this course. If I wanted to go and create a new rubric, I can click on the add button and then select rubric. And it's going to open up this rubric editor for me to go in and put in a title, criteria, and grading scale. I'll begin by typing in a title, and this is a title that you're going to want to give a little bit of consideration to because you're going to be able to use this same rubric throughout the whole course if you would like. So it might be something that you would want to be usable for multiple different questions or assignments. After you've gone in and added your title, you're going to go down and start adding in your first criteria and a description of it. And you can do this by clicking into each of the field and either typing in or pasting information that you might already have. Then you're going to focus on your grading scale, and you're going to notice that by default this is set up on a 1 through 4 grading scale, and you can come in here and you could make any changes to this. If you ever wanted to add a new grading cell, you could click on the plus button, and that's going to show you that it's added a new grading cell for you. So maybe you would want to come in here and make this a 6. If you ever decided that you wanted to delete any of the information, you could hover over each cell and you'll locate the X, and that is going to take that away. You have the option to come in here where it says excellent, and maybe you want to add more specific examples of what you're looking for in order to earn a 4, 3, 2, or 1. When you want to add a new row, you can click on the plus criteria and it's going to pick up the grading scale for whichever the row before it was. So here you're going to see that it's giving you the same grading scale. Again, you can come in and you can add your title and you can make any changes here. If you ever wanted to delete one of these and maybe only have 1 through 3 here, you can do that. It doesn't need to be consistent through the entire rubric. You're going to notice that as you set up your grading scale, the total points here is going to show below where your total points are. So if you've made any changes to here and you wanted to give this a 5 instead of a 2, you're going to see that your total points is going to be reflective of that change that you've made. Once you've completed setting all of this up, you can click on Create, and that's going to save your rubric for you. If at any point you've decided that you need to make a change to your rubric, you can click on the settings wheel and come and click on edit, and it's going to open up your rubric. It is important to note that if you have used this rubric within this course at all in any of your assignments or assessments, it's going to make the change on all of them that have been used in the course. If you have happened to copy this to a different course, that course will not be changed. So the changes that you make in this rubric apply only to this specific course. So now that I have the rubrics completed, if I wanted to ever attach this to a question in my assessment, I would come and click on the question, and I'm going to click on Align Rubric, and you're going to see that you have now several that you can choose from because it's picking it up from your gradebook setup. So once you've clicked on it, it's going to show you all of your information. And if you want your students to be able to view this when they are taking their assessment so that they can open this and view the exact criteria, you're going to want to check off the box that says Show to Students. So when your students are taking the assessment, they're going to be in the specific question and they're going to see that same icon showing up in their question that they can click on, and it will open up a view of what the rubric looks like and the grading scale for each of the different criteria. Now, if we hop back to our teacher view, you're going to see that I'm in here in my grading tab, and I'm going through each of my students' responses, and I'm going to now see that a rubric has been aligned with this question. So when I click on the rubric, it's going to open up, and I can quickly come in here and give my students whichever score I find appropriate. You can also come in here and add some comments if you want your students to see that. And also, if you wanted to maybe not give them a 4, but there was some place in the middle of a 3 and a 4, you could always come in here and be more specific about what score you're giving them. When you're all finished with that, you're going to hit the Save button, and that score is going to now be saved.